My Son Can Do No Wrong was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Dad?
What's the matter? What's the matter?
I got in trouble in school.
What happened?
I didn't do nothing. I just punched a girl in the face because she wouldn't stop touching me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Who said this?
Mr. Hasted.
Well, Mr. Hadstead's going to go see us tomorrow morning. I guarantee that.
Yeah, you tell him, Dad. Hit him with my participation trophy.
Welcome to the home of no participation trophies. This is the Loki and Jabroni Show. My name is Chris. I am the Jabroni. To my immediate right for a change is...
You're on the other side. Mike, I am Loki. What's going on, my peoples?
And even though we don't have a plexiglass room for him like Robin Quivers yet, in the house today, next week, and hopefully for as long as we do this, there's Eddie Focus over there.
Yes, he is here. He is having fun.
He's going to chime in every now and again. Hopefully not like this.
Oh, the cry.
Yeah.
The cry that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Who else do we want to add to that list? The Oakland Raiders. The New Orleans Saints.
Oh, God. Choke City on
the Washington Redskins.
All that. Choke City on all that, huh? So, like we said, we had a little discussion here with our executive producer in-house, and we are doing what is known as a front movement on our show. We are going to change it up just a little bit and have an included format, which we'll start with, which we have dabbled with before, what's on our mind. We're going to break that down for, a good 10-minute segment, and then we're going to go right into the little thick of it.
Structured.
Which is, what are we talking about today, my friend?
Parenting Structure 101.
And parenting.
Stop letting your kids be shiftless bitches. Part 1.
As if the beginning of the show didn't give you a little bit of idea of what was going on with this show. So, my friend, what's on your mind?
Oh, wow. So you just talked about football.
Yes.
Anybody notice Dallas Cowboys won this weekend?
Did they?
They did.
Oh, that's why I see that little meme with the Redskins and the star in the middle of it, like they own them. I got you.
Well, see,
they win one game and they own them.
That's what I want to talk about. Here comes Dak Prescott. He leads them to a minimal victory. They did win. Let's be honest. They don't ask how you win. They ask if you win.
What was the score?
It was like 27-24. It was like wicked close. You know what? Let me look that up right now while I'm talking about this.
No,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'll look it up.
Go ahead. It was rather close. Here's my problem. They've already given themselves a fucking trophy. We're America's team. We're back, motherfuckers. You've won one game. You've won one game. Look, my team won this weekend. It's one game. I haven't given them a damn thing other than good job, win next week.
Look, you're 1-1, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So let me look on over here. And
go ahead. He's getting the score now.
27-23.
Oh, I was off by 1. All right.
So you needed a touchdown to win.
Yeah.
Regardless.
You're not back, guys. You're not back. This isn't 1995. Alanis Morissette's not number 1. Kurt Cobain is not dead, or he died in 94. Never mind. All that stuff is in the past.
I'm one of the biggest haters of the. Well, I wouldn't say hater.
Disliker.
I pick on them.
Yeah.
Let's say
I'm the same.
But even the Patriots are pulling off a 2-0 at this point.
I believe the Panthers are also. Am I not?
Yeah, I think they're 2-0 also. So you can't sit there and say your America's team yet, buddy. You still have the NFC champions.
You're not even Texas's team anymore.
You still have the NFC champions in the Carolina Panthers that are pretty much undefeated at this point. So
stop acting like the sunshine has come out brighter than ever. Just stop. You won one game. Hell, even the Cleveland Browns can win one game.
I don't know. I think they managed to win one game.
I think they did. There's our Super Bowl right there, guys. Book it, Cowboys, Browns. The least watched Super Bowl in Super Bowl history.
Super Bowl.
That's all I've got. What do you got this week?
Well, I did want to break down, like I said, we were talking earlier. They ended up finding the terrorist.
Yep.
Got in a gunfight. They took him in. Now, there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, this guy got in a gunfight. We're bringing him in, and he did a lot of things. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if we can get some info out of this mofo, I mean, the scary part is he was like an American. Mm-hmm. He's here every day working at his old man's freaking deli.
I was going to say it was a deli bakery /
For 5 years. For 5 years. And he knew people by faces. You know what I'm saying? These people would walk in and they're like, hey, what's going on, man? And he's like, oh, large latte, blah, 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 with extra bacon on the side. You know what I'm saying? This is how he interacted with these people. And then just one day he just decides to flip script. But
the irony is that their shop was called First America Chicken or something.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's how you gain that trust, though, is being a part of the neighborhood. You could go back to the 9/11 hijackers who came and did the flight school. They became friends with all those people. There were a few that were like, oh, he was distant. They're always distant. Once you do something dastardly, like he was a real quiet guy, he never talked much. No, these guys were friends with all those guys in their flight school. It's like, once you gain the trust, boom, no one's going to suspect you of a freaking thing. And then when they hear it, comes all, he was a nice quiet boy.
Right, exactly.
It's never the loudmouth. That's why we're still here.
It's truth. No, I mean, I got it. First of all, the fact that the shop owner of this is the guy that found him, and this is the biggest. Like, this is what I wanted to bring up, the whole awareness. It was a bar. The guy's closing up, and his best friend is chilling with them, closing up the bar with him, and they're walking down, and he looks down the alleyway, and he sees the guy in his alleyway, and he's like, dude, that's the guy. And his friend's like, how can you tell? You can't even see his face from here. And the guy's like, no, that's him. I could tell by the sweatshirt. So he goes over and he looks at him and he freaking, hey, you gotta move on. He actually looks at him, IDs him. The guy says, fuck off, I'm sleeping. And then he takes off. That's when he calls the cops. The cops get in there. They get in a little tuffle. I think one of the cops is injured because a glass explodes by his face. He's got minor injuries. Mm-hmm. They shoot them and they take him in. Now, my point in this is this guy took the time to look and say, hey, that's him. He could have been like, fuck that, and just kept on walking.
That's unfortunate, the world we live in today.
And that's exactly it. And that's the point that I'm getting at, is how many people do you think would have questioned it? And then when their best friend turned around and said, dude, cut that out. That ain't him. You can't even see his face. How many people would be like, nah, you're right, dude. I can't see his face. Whatever. Let's go.
I give that guy a lot of credit for being vigilant.
That's what I'm saying. And like I said, I think it was a couple years ago we had that if you see something, say something campaign going on. That was when the whole bombing, when the Boston bombings went on, and they were really, really all over that. What? It's like, once again, it's like the magic's over here. Look at the puppet over here, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened in that campaign? Why is that not important anymore?
I think part of it has to do with, again, we see all these viral videos. Every day we're inundated with, look, I had my little cell phone out and 2 kids fought. Or, hey, I had my little cell phone out and we watched this drunk driver hit 40 parked cars. Hey, I'm at Walmart. 2 ladies are fighting over the last bottle of Pert shampoo. And instead of doing something, they're filming something. People would rather stand back and watch and get a million viral hits than actually get involved and do the right thing.
Right.
And to that's not being a good citizen. That's being a punk.
It's funny because I was looking through, our videos, and then I saw this other video, and it was literally this guy comes up and he pretty much punches, doesn't punch her full force, but punches his girl in the face to get her attention. And as she's running, she slips on this trap that he created and busts her fucking ass. And, you know, you could tell that she's obviously hurt because she's like, ow, ow, ow. And he's like, I guess they do pranks to each other, like whatever.
Like my page.
It's like 9 million views.
Ugh.
9 million views of somebody getting fucked up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? People?
I watched it. Look, full disclosure, I watch those videos. I laugh. I move on. And that's the thing.
9 million views.
But then I'm probably
28 on one of our
right.
It just pisses me
But here's
off.
like the guy. We've all watched the video. The guy doing all the WWE finishers on his girlfriend into the pool.
Yes,
she's in on it. He's in on it. They're
absolutely.
having a good time.
Absolutely.
2 million hits. 2 million hits. Why? Because it's fun to watch. But again, how many of these schoolyard fights get 5 million hits? How many of these? Drunken guy hits 40 parked cars, goes on Channel 6 News every now and again.
Exactly.
Jesus, guys, do something. Don't watch something.
And that's exactly it. Thank
Then
God.
you got the bum fights.
Oh, the bum fights are awesome.
Fucking bum fights. But no, that's that. I just want to give a shout out. I wish I knew his name right now, but he did. He was the owner of the bar. Big shout out for actually stepping in and doing the right thing, man. Like that was big. That was fucking big. And
it's a vigilant, good citizen.
I mean, he already took enough lives as it was, and to get him, where he needed. I mean, it's just fucking. It's getting ridiculous, man. Right. It's getting ridiculous.
So how about one more shout out? Because if you guys missed the live viral feed last week, we picked a winner of Sully the Scully. The skull itself is going home. The winner was Lee Bozeman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Jim Bissett picked it. We had nothing to do with it. He drew the name, and we're drinking the vodka. So congratulations, Lee. You'll have your skull sometime very soon.
Drank.
Oh, is it gone?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, then you'll have the skull sometime very soon. I'm going to get your address and telephone number. I got your telephone number. I'm going to get your address. We'll send it out. Enjoy the autographs. And thank you for the reviews, everybody. And the next contest, we need more reviews. We'll come up with one. You'll hear about it real quick. We should explain the Super Bowl contest before we go on. Is all you need to do, private message the page. Put your pick up live and in color on the Facebook page. You can even text us your pick, not which two teams are playing. By Halloween night, midnight. Which one?
Supernatural episode.
Pick the one team that is going to hoist that trophy at the end of the year. If you are our winner, you win a free stitched NFL jersey. Player of your choosing, subject to availability. If more than one person picks the winning team, we will draw the name out of a hat, and one person will walk away with that jersey. And we have some sweet jerseys, don't we?
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Those are the ones we're giving away, guys. The real stitched. This is the real shit. $275 value. All yours. If the pick is right.
Nike, too.
Yeah.
Because don't
good
forget,
stuff.
They're Nike, man.
Good stuff.
I want to see if we can get me one of them freaking cool Rush colors.
Ooh. That color I saw last year, the Falcons one was pitiful. This year they look real nice.
No, I like the choices this year.
Grab me a nice Julio Jones.
Yeah, I would like that. I'd like that.
I might call the member Julio Jones from now on and say, catch Julio.
All right, guys. So we will be right back with the start of the program of this show.
Hey, everybody. It's Chris from the Loki and Jabroni Show. Are you looking for your next great tattoo experience? I've got something for you. Our friends at Sublime Ink Tattoo and Piercing Parlor in Groton, Connecticut. The address is 577 Route 12. Phone number is 860-445-4200. Go down and see our friends Dave Kovalik, Dana Batts, Justin Furr, or David Kruger. They are ready to give you your next great tattoo experience. Mention you heard it on the Loki and Jabroni Show, and maybe they'll help you out.
Hey guys, welcome back. So, I just want to get a quick full disclosure on this before we go into our Parenting 101 episode. It is not a instructional tutorial how-to. This is not how you should raise your kids. This is our expressed opinions. This is how we are seeing the world today and how we have come across maybe perhaps our own mistakes or people themselves that have done it in front of us. This is one of those things that is a very touchy subject. We get that. We understand it, and if you do not comment below, then obviously you don't feel as personal as we do on this. I mean,
I don't know that a lot of people do. However, it would be nice to think that parents, if you're a parent and you're listening to this show and we say something that you agree with, disagree with, please let us know.
Chime in, absolutely. You know, I've always liked that one, especially growing up in the projects. I've always liked how it said, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Because it really does. The different families, the different ways, everything that you are influenced by, yeah, baby. Everything that you're influenced by has everything to do with your upbringing and how people are. Not necessarily your parents, but like we have said before, the people that have been around you.
Uncles, aunts, grandparents, neighbors, role models.
When we were growing up and it was, hey, come on over here and meet Mr. Smith and Mr. Burns. That's how we were introduced.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Burns? It's nice to meet you. And my name is Mike, and I like white chocolate because I puke my guts out on regular chocolate. So hey, have a good day.
That was our interaction.
You always said hello to them, though. Hello, Mr. Smith.
Absolutely.
Hello, Mr. Burns.
Absolutely. Today's society, I mean, you'll be lucky if you get a first name out of them, if they call you by anything.
If not a grunt.
A grunt or a look.
Hey, I'd like you to meet Mr. Jacobs. Hey, meet my friend Mike Smith. Okay.
So, man. Yeah.
Sup?
Hello. My name is Eddie. Do you have any candy?
Do you have Pokemon?
My dad is going to give me candy.
I like that candy.
That's the guy in the white van over there. Go see him.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Right?
Piece of candy.
No, you're absolutely right. There's something about respect and teaching respect, I think, is unfortunately this woebegone notion. Nobody believes in it anymore. And if you believe in it, a lot of people believe in it half-heartedly. There was not a time where, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know that there was a time where if my mother or my father, even my grandfather, uncle, aunt, whoever said, Chris, I'd like you to meet Mr. Jones. Hello, Mr. Jones.
Right.
You gave him the respect, sight unseen. If you eventually realized, hey, Mr. Jones might be a bit of an asshole, you kind of pulled it back. But you always showed the proper respect. It didn't matter.
There was a respect that was granted. There's not this look nowadays of, look, Mr. Smith is going to respect me regardless if I say his name is Mr. Smith or not. And that's just the way it is. Like,
I make the rules up in this motherfucker.
We didn't do that because that's how we were raised up. That's how we were brought up to believe. Now, once an adult kind of took that respect away, then you were free.
Oh, back then you're absolutely right.
Then you were, and even parents would have your back on this.
Oh yeah, there is a friend of my family. I say friend of my family because they're no friend of mine. Who, from the time I hit the ground running till about 30 seconds ago, grates on my very last nerve every time I see them. This woman has got to be in her mid to late 60s by now. Still thinks it's 1982. Still thinks I'm a snotty 10-year-old kid running around. Every time she sees me, it's like I should just bow down and kiss the ground her wrinkled ass walks on. She pulled it at the wrong time when we both worked at Mohegan Sun. And I'm walking through with one of my other managers. I was a manager at the Sun at the time. And here she comes from her little whatever she did. I don't care. A person's a person. I don't care if you sweep the floor or you are the CEO. Everybody gets respected behind that closed door.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. All grown up and in a suit. I remember when I used to tan your ass for a dude. I'm like, you, come with me. Now you're going to learn. Went to her director and I sat down. I says, look, I've known this woman a long time. I don't want her to get in trouble, but if I ever see that shit pulled again, I am going to have her card pulled. I am going to have her written up, and hopefully you do the right thing, but this will never happen again. I've seen her a few times since then, and she's given me the stink eye. And again, still 1982.
Oh, yeah.
I could still whip your ass whenever I want. Bring it, lady. Bring it.
We are not advocating you get in fights with old ladies.
Thank you.
Unless they hit first.
No, even
and knock their dentures out.
Even then, you can.
I know.
Push them with their little bag. Get away.
Yeah, right. Take the tennis balls off their walker. See how far they get.
So, I mean, breaking it down essentially is, I think a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, our generation is the ones that are raising these children now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Generation Y, pretty much, they might have a few kids in their works, and probably they probably
have some kids, too.
I was going to say, they got to have some. There's probably about half of them with probably about 6. And these are the ones that I think we're seeing now. These are the ones that are essentially in Wally World and mine, and pulling on you and looking at it. When you look at the way that people are handling these kids, they're throwing them in timeout. They're tossing them to the side. They're, I've seen videos of, have they went too far? And, the parent, fucking whacks the kid on the butt, and the kid starts crying, and,
Wait. They say that spanking your kid one whack across the ass is going too far?
I'm giving you both aspects. I'm giving you both. I'm giving you the one where the parent is
Don't get me fired up too early.
Here, have some candy, shut your face. I'm giving you the one where the parent does turn around and crack that fucking kid and gives you a little, what's up there. That's just the way, that's unfortunately, not unfortunately, sorry but not sorry, how we were raised.
So you have, here's where it goes back to, you got this 50-50 mentality, the world does, not us, where we're not allowed to discipline our kids in Wally World or Target or wherever because, oh my God, heaven forbid, that's abusive. And then there's guys like me, and I missed it the other day. I don't know how long ago it was. Angela and Madison went into Stop and Shop, and the mother dragged her kid out of the store for being a jackass. They told me about it after the fact, and I was pissed. Not because the mother dragged her kid out by the arm. I was like, damn, I missed it. I would have shaken that lady's hand and hugged her and asked her to run for president.
You're the fucking best.
That's the way it should be done.
No, absolutely. And the messed up part is, when people that don't, and this I am going to go off on. The ones of you that don't have fucking kids and you're throwing your 2 cents in,
step back.
Y'all need to shut up. No, you've been around.
Right. I was going to say, Ed, you're shaking your head over there, but you also, if I believe Anna is 3 and you've been there for the better part of almost all her life.
It's like 6 weeks.
I was going to say, I've seen you with her.
Yeah, you have more of an opinion. You have more of a horse in this race than some jackass guidance counselor who's never had a kid.
I've always said that, look, dude, blood does not make you the father of that child. I'm sorry.
What you do.
Being there makes you the father or mother of that fucking child.
And that goes for a lot of us.
I'm not taking the job away because he'll always have that title. But I'm sorry, when you have more aspect on a child's life than the father does, that title needs to just kind of
and not to.
I haven't slept in my bed comfortably in weeks.
See, you're going.
Yeah,
through,
she's at that phase.
Oh no,
you're going. Through
and look,
the pain.
hey, we're not going to blow smoke up our own asses here, but your lady has a son. My lady has 3 kids, and I dare say that both of us are more involved in those children's lives than the men who are responsible for their showing up on this earth.
Oh, absolutely.
And to me, look, I may not be your father, I may not be your blood, but if you can show me that he's a better man than I am to you, he might be Superman, he might have a cape with a big red S, and he might be Batman and go out and fight crime. What has he done for you? That's where it all boils down. Ed, you got your hand up from behind the booth?
Yeah, from my perspective, I just prefer to think that I have just a different relationship with her.
No, absolutely. I'm not, and you might not.
No, I know what you're saying, but it's just that's just how I've always handled it.
Absolutely.
She knows who Daddy is and she knows who Eddie is. She refers to him by that. And it's fine.
Right. And that is, like I said, that's his title. And as long as he is in her life, he can continue to have that title.
And as long as she's not my kid, I can beat the hell out of her.
No, absolutely.
Just smash her head.
Fuck yeah,
Pile
dude.
driver, blame it on the dad.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to edit that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
What you do, Ed, is you walk up real nice, wrap your hands around her in a loving hug, pick her up by the waist, Batista bomber, you're the winner.
Yeah, you are. You're the champion.
Yep. I know a lot of old people whose grandparents like to scream about chopping wood and stuff when they were kids, and
Too early.
How does that speech go, by the way, Ed?
But
I can't wait for it.
It's coming.
But I have an advantage with technology. It's really easy to get my way with the kid. Just take the tablet away and she freaks out. So,
oh, absolutely. It is.
We seldom have to lay a hand. Well, I never do.
No.
We seldom have to get that point unless she gets that bad habit of punching. Sometimes it's like, do you like that? And
right.
It's like, not that we punch her, but.
No, absolutely.
Not often anyway.
Absolutely. No, I mean, absolutely. You can't hit it any better than you just did, man. Seriously. You got to find the kid's currency. You got to find what makes that kid upset. And you brought it up obviously the last couple of days ago where, throughout the ages, their currency changes. So for one day, it could be something completely different that they're, hey, for this week, it's Nemo that he absolutely drives them insane.
Well, if you go really, really far back, like hundreds of years, when they don't have a tenth of what we have now, you couldn't really ground a kid because they needed to contribute to the household.
He was working anyway. I think they should anyway.
They had to contribute to the household for survival. So it was go out, get a switch.
Yeah.
Pain is the best equalizer.
And you remember it. Absolutely.
But by that same token, what bothers me is all these, I don't know if they're mostly conservative. I don't know who they are. All I know is they're flower power jackasses who'll say, oh, if you hit your kid, you'll scar their psyche for life. No, you'll teach them respect. You got spanked, Mike, didn't you?
I actually... A couple times, but one time I pissed off my dad.
A couple times. I have a feeling it's a little higher than a couple.
Yeah, I pissed off my dad so bad I got my ass whooped. I ain't going to lie. But so we
Did it scar your psyche?
No.
Ed, did you get spanked?
As a matter of fact, I tell the story, people laugh their asses off.
Not last week. I'm talking about as a kid.
Yeah.
Did it scar your psyche? Are you in a psychiatric ward right now? Are you picking boogers and wiping them on the bus windows?
I will say I do have some issues with it.
We all do. But regardless, are you okay as a human being today?
Except for the bodies.
That's fine. Same here. I got spanked.
Can you blame it?
I got spanked in some manners with the hand and some manners with not the hand. Not the place and the time to talk about it. Am I a scarred human being for it today? Absolutely not. I learned respect because you do the bad thing, you get your ass whooped. Kid can do the math. Okay, the bad thing equals an ass whooping. Maybe I shouldn't do that bad thing anymore.
I don't want to do that again because that really sucks.
Yeah, but today you don't have that. Do the bad thing, lose the iPod for 2 hours. Shit, if that's all I get.
I harder at not getting caught. That's all I did.
Same.
What's funny is I think one day we kind of got at our dad. That was always his thing. Beat our ass, right? And it was, I think, 2 weeks before Christmas. And we did. We fucked up. I think we started a fire outside or something like that. And it wasn't really bad, but, if an adult wasn't in the area, it could have been bad. It was one of those things.
Didn't you set fire to my lawn once?
I probably did.
I think you did.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
A great philosopher.
She fucking whipped me for that asshole.
A great philosopher name of Jorge Lopez once said, but did you die?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you learn.
So, they gave us an option. Get an ass whooping, restriction for 2 weeks, or no Christmas. So we didn't want to be restricted for 2 weeks. We didn't want an ass whooping.
Especially not with Christmas break from school coming up.
Right, exactly.
I see you thinking.
We said no Christmas. Both of us. We stood there and said no Christmas. And my mom was like, what? No. And my dad was like, fine, you don't want Christmas? You're not getting Christmas. And we're like, works for me. And we were happy because we weren't getting an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? And I think my mom obviously talked to him that night in bed, and man, he woke up the next day and he had breakfast with us and had talk, and he was breaking down a little bit, and he's like, I didn't know beating you guys' ass, it made you guys think that hard, mumbles,
right?
But we got a little something out of him, and after that, we didn't get our ass whooped as much.
Oh, I didn't hear anything like that till I was 35 years old. I ain't gonna lie to you. My old man thought everything.
My dad too.
Now I'm gonna. Now, you don't open the floodgates now.
The caterpillar's
Did it look like the Tom and Jerry guy like this?
He's like the dad from Cloudy with a Chance at Meatballs.
Okay.
He's almost like that, where the mouth doesn't move, it's just the mustache.
The mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
Froggy McCourtin, he did right. Grimbo.
If it weren't for the fact he was balding, you probably wouldn't be able to see his eyes either.
Did he comb the hair over to form the mustache? That's my question.
He was that close crop.
I didn't get a speech like that till I was 35 because my old man thought everything he did was right and just. Here's where I'm actually open a little bit of floodgate. Wasn't until I moved to Florida. I moved away from Florida after a year or so, and we're getting ready to get in the truck, and I went in to say goodbye to my father, and he's in tears. He goes, I know I wasn't a good father. Like horseshit. Let me explain something. I'll be honest with you, because you're my dad and I love you. Doesn't matter how much I dislike you. I love you.
Yeah.
You were a great father. Just weren't a hell of a dad. I'm 35. I don't give a shit. And he just kind of looked up, and I was like, we can talk about it another time. Of course, I'm 43, and we haven't had that other time.
You're
but
buying lunch.
Yeah. Thanks for the beer, Jack. And it doesn't take a genius to be a great parent. You like you said, find their currency. You don't have to get on their level. You can try to help them come up to your level, but find what speaks to them. You might not
find what they don't want to not have.
If, I loved music. And my dad was just like, music is something you turn on the radio and you listen to, and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nobody ever picked up a guitar or a turntable or a piano. Not that you could pick up a piano without three guys helping you. Nobody ever sat down in front of something and created it. It just happened. You turn on the thing and Stevie Wonder appeared. Oh, no, that doesn't happen. But I wanted to learn. I wanted to be a musician. I was told, well, that's not good. You should try to be a cop or a fireman or an EMT or some bullshit like that. No. Find what they like. I may not like everything my daughter does, but I'm going to sit down. I'm going to play the role. I'm going to suffer through it. And she's going to be like, wow, my dad did that with me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My dad loved fishing. I tried my ass off. I get seasick. Plus, I just don't like fucking fishing unless there's beer involved. But I just didn't like fishing.
Yeah, beer and seasick? Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Hey, we're going fishing. Nah, I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah, no, I'm not,
But he never came to my level.
You bring up a good point, though, and because I think a lot of the problem is, too, as parents, the currency they choose is just not in the best interest. Like you'll hand them cash, which I guess is fine, candy, whatever, instead of, hey, you do this, we'll do this activity.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, hey,
interaction.
Get your room clean, get the dishes done, help with dinner. We're going to see Kiss, Don't do any of those things. I'm just seeing Kiss.
Yeah, right?
So, here's the thing. You're kind of teaching them a barter system.
Right.
But, but at the same, that working leads to more freedom.
Right. But at the same time, you have kids, even some years ago, you have kids who think, I don't need to do shit around this house. I just keep my little hovel clean and that's it. Can you do the dishes? Oh, my God. I'll do it for $5. Fuck you. You'll do it for the free rent, free food. Clothes you get every year. You'll funny. Do it because it needs to be done. And nowadays, and we've all seen it. I mean, we were here. We were at Mark's house, and our friend has a son who, hey, you're up. Can you grab me a soda or a beer? Yeah, I'll do it for $5. Fuck you. You do it for $5. Get up. Did you pay for the food today? No. Do you pay for anything? Right. No. Get up and get the fucking soda.
It was like I was saying. They have this
I love the kid.
Meme out, and it shows when they talk about that you don't buy them nothing, and they took a picture of the ribbons on the the power ribbon on the TV, ribbon on this, ribbon on that. I don't give a crap what you say. I remember being that age, dude. Mm-hmm. I understand what my mom did to give us what we had.
But you still wanted a little more.
But exactly. You don't count that. I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Sure. No, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Because I do. I agree. You don't think of that. And maybe even in your poorest of situations, I still don't think it's ever that desperate enough for you to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, if mom doesn't have a job until it hits you.
Right.
Because as a child, you
just see life the way it is.
Right.
Mom and dad go to work, or mom and this, or you and everybody goes to work.
And the money's just there. It's always there.
Look, I can say this without fear, is that if it snowed, we didn't even think. You put on your gloves, your hat, your gimmicks, you go outside, you have the shovel, you are cleaning out the walk, and you're cleaning out the driveway. We didn't ask for $5. If we wanted $5, you know what we did? We went to the neighbor's house.
We rolled
Can I shovel your driveway for $5? Oh, yeah, sure. Have at it. Here's $5. Be my guest.
Yeah.
We didn't get paid doing it in our own house. You know why? Because it was part of just being a part of the house. And to hear a kid, hey, can you go out and clean up the hedges for $5? Here, I'll give you $5. I'll tape 5 ones to my foot and put it dead in your ass.
Exactly.
Funny thing with the ribbons, my mom was an electrician by trade, so there wouldn't be ribbons. She'd be disconnecting outlets.
No, she
except
was,
one. And I said, that's for your alarm clock, so you're not late for school.
Nice.
Yep. No,
nice. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I hooked him back up, but it's
and that's how you learn.
I always had to outwit my mom.
Nice.
Shit was funny though. This shit was fucking absolutely
I somehow I think all this disclosure is going to get you into trouble. I don't care if you are 39, 38, whatever you are.
Hey, maybe
she's going to whoop your ass.
I don't know what a podcast is.
All right, guys.
I'll mail it to her.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. All right.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Loki and Jabroni Show. You are a fan, you are listening. If you want to know how to make the show even better and become a part of the Loki and Jabroni family, here is how. www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. It is the easiest way to get in on the ground floor and help us reach the next level. You can donate a one-time gift, a monthly gift, or there are 2 special investor levels that will help you help us produce content for you in the future. We have gifts for each level of donation. That is www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni to make your donation and help us become the podcast of the future.
All right, guys, welcome back. So today's topic, obviously, is parenting 101. We pretty much brought you down memory lane of how we were raised as kids in the pretty much first part of that, and how we think, obviously our generation was brought up. The whole village to raise a child thing, having the different moms.
Neighborhood moms, that was a big thing for us.
Right, exactly. Now you go into, say, losing. I want to say, man, when we're in high school, the pagers start really kicking out. Internet really starts kind of like just start dabbling.
I would say like 93-ish.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I was already out. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, I was 92.
Frame of reference. I get it. All right.
So I graduated in 92.
We're at the tail end of the Atari era.
Right.
Us.
Right. Exactly.
ColecoVision.
So I loved ColecoVision, man. I felt so rich because I had a ColecoVision, by the way. That was the only thing I had that anybody else.
Nice. Sometimes you got to have that one thing.
Oh my God. But no, the biggest thing is, when you look at where we were at that point, we had pretty much outside friends, and I wouldn't say parties. Like, we weren't, I went to my share. Went to my share of parties, but it wasn't always a party.
You could call it a party if you've got 4 or 5 of your friends gathered around
like
a Nintendo.
Gathering, man.
Everybody brings soda. There were moms that would feed you Doritos and Mountain Dew.
We played D&D. It was it was a gathering.
It kind of was a party. Everybody's having fun. It's a good time.
Now, kick it ahead a generation. Now they're in high school, and now they're, pagers are pretty much be gone, and now they're starting to get these little cell phone things, or albeit they're like this, and
they were small.
AOL,
right.
Well, they were big, then they got small, and now they're big
AOL
again.
came out, and you could now have these messages.
You could have friends in Germany.
You have mail, and all this. Now people are staying in the house more often. Now you're not going out and seeing people more often. Now this generation, this is how they're living their lives. Now, when we're raising our kids, our generation, we're kicking the kids outside. We are having the kids.
You almost have to now.
You do. No, you do have to kick them outside. You have to absolutely kick them outside. I mean, if there's something cool going on, obviously, it doesn't take them long to freaking run outside. But no, for the most part, it absolutely did. With the distractions now you're talking freaking smartphones that, I mean, dude, my phone will sit there and tell me, like, how long when I'm driving. Okay, I got, 40 minutes left till I get home from work.
As if I couldn't tell that by driving by exit 13.
Why do I need to know that, you stupid? That's just scary.
You don't.
That's scary, phone, okay? You're really scaring me right now, phone. But this is what these...
You will have to urinate in 15 minutes.
Oh, my God, my phone! No.
My phone knows my urinate.
These kids are nose deep in these things. They're, that's to get them out of this. And let's be honest, some of these parents are going to take advantage of that shit.
Yep.
That's their babysitter, dude. That's their fucking babysitter.
It's an electronic babysitter.
I mean,
but that's the way. But that's the way they used to think of Nintendo and Atari and all that mess back in the day.
No, they used to think of that of Nick TV.
Yeah,
your freaking Nicktoons. Throw your kid
drop him in front of Barney. Right, exactly. Go do your business.
Boom, done. You can sit there and clean the house. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Kids want interaction. They will sit there and they will pester you, mommy, daddy.
But then again, the attention span of a child now is far.
I still get it from my 15-year-old. Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
I'll be doing this and just talking after we're wrapping
and he's
up.
Peeping his head around the corner.
Dad.
Can we go to the store now?
Dad.
Can you buy me a Gatorade?
What? Can you come here real quick?
I just want to tell you I love you so much.
It's like, are you serious right now?
Think about it. Let's just use a Saturday morning. We talked about the Saturday morning cartoons some months ago. You sat down, you got your big green Tupperware bowl full of Fruity Pebbles or whatever you put in front of it.
Like we said.
You sat for 6 hours.
I'd say 4.
Sometimes 4.
Because it was 8 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock.
Right.
Well, I mean, you could get up really early.
Did you add wrestling to that or just the Saturday morning cartoons?
Sometimes, because wrestling
Let's split the difference. We'll call it 4.
Right.
All right. So for 4 hours, your mind is in one spot.
Yeah.
And then once, thank you for watching and good night. You took your ass outside.
Oh, yeah. You don't see mom until dinner.
Heaven forbid a commercial comes on nowadays. I'm like, I have to wait 2 minutes and 30 seconds for my show to come back on? What the fuck?
I'm just going to wait till it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah. I'll just binge watch on on demand or something.
Yeah, like our occasional co-host Rachel King.
Yeah, binge watch. I watched 4 seasons of Doctor Who in an hour. How? Why?
She went back in time. She went Doctor Who.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, a kid today has a shorter attention span. And
absolutely.
If these little gimmick phones, and you brought it up some weeks ago about the Pokemon craze and how it's getting kids outside of the house. And yeah, you're buried in your little phone, but you're looking around. You are aware of your surroundings. Whatever happened to using your imagination? Go outside and build a fucking fort.
They do actually. No, that's getting back to that real quick. But they do have this new thing. It's Pokemon Go Plus.
Oh God!
For $40, you can get a bracelet that is a little teardrop Pokemon thing. And what you can do is you can put your phone in your pocket, and you can walk around and look. And when a Pokemon comes by, your bracelet vibrates, and then you pull out your phone.
I don't often do this.
Pokemon.
But I need to put this beer on the vein.
Come on, man.
Because
at least now they're looking. Now it's kind of cheesy that you guys spend $40.
You can't build a fort anymore without a permit.
No, you're right, dude. You're right.
You might be right.
You can't set up a lemonade stand anymore without a sales permit.
Dude, you can't do anything in it. It's ridiculous.
It's lemonade.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, unless you have iced tea with you.
Iced tea.
It's lemonade.
Lemonade, fool.
Because he's a cop killer. You can't set up a lemonade stand.
He's a cop killer that's a cop. That's an oxymoron.
I always thought that when I saw him on that show. The guy who sings Cop Killer is playing a cop on television. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, my God.
It's the Chewbacca defense.
New Jack
it does
City
not
is the
make
greatest
sense.
Movie of all time.
Which one?
New Jack City.
That was a great film.
No way, man. Judgment Night.
Judgment Night was even good, even better.
It needs to be about 20% cooler.
All right, no, real quick though, totally getting off subject. The kids with distractions nowadays, and this is your currency. This is absolutely your currency. The problem is there's so much of it that it's here.
Oh, yeah.
You got the tablet, and then you got the smartphone, and then you got their little. So you take the tablet away, and all of a sudden they go to the Xbox.
Yeah.
You take the Xbox away, now they go to the smartphone. Then you take the smartphone
Well,
away.
if you go
and
with
they have their friend come over with their smartphone.
Go with the umbrella. I'm taking all the electronics away.
Right.
Well, that's fantastic. I got about 600 other gimmicks in my room. Whether it's a wood burning kit, they still sell those, by the way. I saw one today.
Chopping wood.
Oh, here we go. They have all these other things in their room that they can go and do. Oh, you took away my electronics? Yeah, so I can't play Minecraft right now. Let me go play with this wood whittling kit or board game or something else. I'll keep my mind fresh. What are we doing? We're putting a Band-Aid on cancer. We're not helping the situation.
I remember just a few years behind us, and kids started playing Magic, and we were like, this is fucking lazy Dungeons and Dragons, man. Give me the dice.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Roll the 20-sided dice for your fate.
You mentioned imagination. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, right. But again, think about it. Did you ever play Cowboys, Indian Cops and Robbers, Super Friends? Did you ride your bikes around the neighborhood thinking you were Batman or Robin?
Absolutely.
That took imagination.
How many times did you take a freaking...
I pretended to be Superman, not that gay Batman.
You will get shot. You
take a card, take a freaking clothespin. Now you got a motorcycle.
You throw
Get
5
10 of you. Now you got a motorcycle gang.
Throw 5 kids in the yard and they'll look at you and go, "What are we supposed to?" Yeah. Throw 5 kids in the yard and they look at you like, "And now what?"
But now
what?
Now, once again, let me throw the devil's advocate into there. We are in a different time now. We are in it when we were growing up, obviously we could disappear on our bikes for hours on end, and our parents would know.
Late night manhunt.
Dude,
yeah,
we'd be out till 10 o'clock at night. My mom's biggest thing was just make sure you come home and let me know that you're home.
Check in every couple, 3 hours.
That's all she cared about, is let me know that you're home. That was
still alive.
Right.
Thank you. Exactly. I'm going back out.
Now,
my dad used to say, just don't get arrested. If you get arrested, talk to your mom.
Yeah. Thanks.
I couldn't do that. My dad was a cop in my town.
I mean, you turn around now with the kids nowadays, and what they're going through. I'm just as bad.
But I've brought this.
I'm pussyfooting around them. Oh, you guys. Oh, I don't know about that. Be careful. Like, oh, what the fuck? I don't.
It's so bad. And I want to bring up something. I got a little text message over here. The Immortal is in the studio, but they're all being quiet over there. Some kids actually have to Google how to have an imagination.
Yeah, that's when you put how to have and then imagination.
Yeah, but half the time black cocks come up. They're everywhere. I didn't say the show was for everybody. Seriously, kids don't have an imagination anymore.
How to have black cocks.
No, how to have an imagination.
So
did you mean black cocks?
After they find that, do they go back?
No, they just click on the imagination stuff. If they're young, they're too scared.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been triggered.
Yep. There's
your trigger.
Go to your safe space.
As if it hasn't happened enough. I mean, no.
Do you think kids today have an imagination? Beyond video games and Pokemon and all that stuff.
Can I just be on that? Because fuck if I can do some of the shit that my kids can do on Minecraft. I mean, have you ever, and can I just say, like, you gotta have an imagination to pull some of that shit off. My kids aren't sitting there going online and being like, how to build a castle brick by brick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the way I look at Minecraft, it's like having your own big box of Legos. Like, the only difference is obviously
it's a sandbox game.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And anything pretty much goes. Dude, Caleb and Alex, between the two of them, I want to say they were like 12 and 10. And Alex had his Xbox and Caleb has his, and I just got him Xbox Live for the first time ever. But they had like child things on it, so Caleb couldn't talk online. And Alex was just able to talk, but only if there was like 14 and under in the room.
Right.
There was a lot of like different things that you could put on that, which, by the way, there are out there, people.
Yeah.
They are. Every single device, just so you know, has an option and the availability to put a parental control on that, and you can do all kinds of fun and nifty things. So anyways, these two are going, normally they're fighting. Now they're actually, for the last, I want to say maybe hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I haven't heard a peep out of them. I fed them lunch. This was like during winter vacation. I fed them lunch. I'm sitting downstairs. I'm actually getting to watch some TV, and I plug in the Xbox, and I see that they're both online. So I go upstairs, and I'm checking them out. Between the two of these two, they have completely created their own castle, complete with trapdoors, secret passageways. I mean, they had this thing that went out into the woods. They had this thing that they would go down and they would go into the mine and they would actually mine their things, and the stuff would bring all their findings back to the castle, and the castle would instantly separate it.
Is Minecraft the equivalent of building a fort in the woods?
No, it's not in that aspect. In that aspect.
Oh, as far as the construction and how you're doing it and using your mind, right, I'll give you that. But
to actually go out there and physically have it in your hands and to build something like that, no.
How many times did you build forts as a kid, right? Whether they're pillow forts or out in the woods.
Ed and me with Rob. We called him Captain Fort Man every fucking day. Let's build a fort. What about the fort we just built yesterday? That one's lame, dude. This one's going to be better. Like, he would tear down.
We would get kicked out of the woods. They're like, you guys can't be back there.
How do you guys get kicked out of the woods?
It was a housing project.
Oh, all right.
We were really supposed to be back there.
All right.
Yeah, we would.
There was like an illegal dump site there.
But you build a fort
exposed.
You build a fort big enough, and you and like a couple of your buddies can sit inside, and you're away from everybody, and you're talking about whatever you talk about at 12 years old. I don't remember; it was so long ago. But you had not only actual physical, verbal interaction with somebody else, but you had your own space that you built rather poorly, but you still had it. It wasn't something you had to turn on a little Xbox and I'm going to my castle now. And I give them a lot of credit for being creative and building these castles with the fire-breathing dragon and all that bullshit, but they're missing out. And again, the world has changed, but I think a lot of that goes back to what Ed said some weeks ago about a 24-hour news cycle. Before, you would hear about girl in Colorado gets, abducted by a guy in a white van. You heard about it once in a blue moon. Now it's like every 2 days you turn on the news and somebody's getting picked off in New Mexico.
Statistically, it was worse back then.
It was.
Statistically, it was worse. It's actually not as
because
bad
there's
today.
more. Here's a plus to the not only just neighborhood watch and people being nosy and cops and whatever. We're on the lookout for it.
No, not cops.
Oh, here we go. Fuck the
This
police.
is a parent episode.
But
Stop.
parents are involved in it. Cops are parents too. I should know.
Oh yeah,
The cops are a part of the nanny state.
Yeah, only the parents that sit there and say, "Oh, if you don't behave, I'm going to call the cops."
I hate that shit.
Dude, I do too. That shit, and then you instantly have them, fucking hating the cops right off the bat.
God, happened with my daughter too.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Mother would say, "If you don't knock it off, they're going to take you to jail." You fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, that's
Actually, I had to take her down to the Norwich Police Department. Some of my friends who I met throughout my life through my dad. One of them was higher up. Like, can I bring her down here so she can see that she's not going to get hauled off to jail if she doesn't drink her fucking milk? Oh yeah, sure. He took 3 hours out of his day. She traipsed the whole place. She got to sit in a cell and wear the hat and turn on the siren and all that bullshit. And when it was done, I'm like, "You afraid of cops anymore?" No. What's going to happen if you're going to get bad? You're going to spank me. Done. Get in the truck. Let's go. Don't tell your kids stupid shit like that.
you learn.
That's right. That's how you learn. But the abductions, going back to your point, it's less now because there's just more vigilance. You have to be vigilant.
There's a lot more awareness, but there's the awareness because we went through
And
it.
we also teach the kids now because back then somebody drives by, "Eddie, your mom's sick. She's in the hospital. Get in the car. Let's go." Okay.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're wearing a tutu covered in peanut butter. And I know I shouldn't be talking about this. You told me not to. So, but nowadays somebody pulls up, "Hey, Mike, get in the car. Your mom's in the hospital. What's the password?" McDonald's. Carry on.
No,
Yeah, I'm going
nowadays you would have already gotten the text on your phone.
Yeah.
Mom's in the hospital.
I would have been like, okay, well, I'll call my dad to come get me, is what I would have said to him.
Well, nowadays you can do that, but you're traipsing the neighborhood back in the day.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. That's a whole different era.
Yeah.
And with that, like I said, becomes that almost dependency
Mm-hmm.
on the technology.
Look, you can have good things that come out of the technology. The Amber Alert is great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The minute
We talked
you
about
could be
it
on the
a couple
highway.
days ago with with what I call the Facebook with Janelle and the teachers there. It's not
Yeah,
Facebook, but the connection,
The little class dojo gimmick, yeah.
to have the connection with the teachers and the parents and all of them. That's like you can't even put a price on that. That's incredible. Like I didn't even have that capability when my kids were going through elementary school.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, I had to if I wanted any type of change, I had to go to the PTAs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to
And
go
who
through the
hell
channels.
was going to go to that? And even if you did, guess what, dude? They were still a pecking order.
And
if you weren't there like for 4 or 5 months,
Right.
they didn't even listen to you.
And the only face-to-face time you got with these teachers, the only reason you knew the teachers' names because your kids said it all the time. Mm-hmm. The only time you knew what they looked like was twice a year during parent-teacher conference.
Right, exactly.
And it was a note that came home.
and
Mike
like I
is
said,
being an
and-
asshole in class. Please talk to
And
him.
to be able to do this stuff like that stuff.
Oh, it's tremendous.
You can't beat that. The technology in that aspect is fucking fantastic. When they're turning into mindless zombies and drones, and you can't control them from that, that's when that becomes the problem. That's when that becomes the hassle.
Oh, yeah. And it comes back to that currency again. You want to break a kid's heart? Take their electronic gimmicks away.
Obviously,
It's
at
that
this
simple.
Point, at this point, you know, and
Take away the chargers too. You're absolutely right. You can take away everything. You have to stay in the house for a week. Kid's gonna look at you like,
now
challenge accepted, MF.
Now let's go. Now let's turn the table
Sure.
and say, what if it's the kid that's making the money in the house? Which you see a lot of these YouTube,
Oh God, the kid, our two girls watch it all the time, like Casey and JC or JoJo and JoJo and what the fuck,
PewDiePie, all these other ones,
and they're
we
making
even
cash.
even before that, Bam Morrison,
Yeah.
when he's sitting in his house beating up his fucking dad and beating up his mom,
And he got an MTV show out of it,
destroying their house. I mean, like
building a skate ramp down the roof into the house and then into the pool.
yeah, exactly. I mean.
But
You know,
obviously, there's monetary kickback to that, and
that's what I'm saying. So,
Phil, your son's going to ruin the house. Here's $1 million.
how can you
Go
possibly
ahead.
control that? How can you control that?
Tupac Shakur actually spoke on this one.
And then on top
did
of
I
that,
know?
now hold on. Now, on top of that, keep that in mind. When you have 5 million viewers of people watching you act this ridiculous and getting paid for it, what are we showing? What are we teaching?
that you can be an asshole and make money. I think Gene Simmons did it first. I'm not sure.
You
can be an asshole and make money.
Way before Gene Simmons, bro. I think way before Gene Simmons.
He's just my favorite.
Elvis, anyone?
Yeah.
Tupac actually said once, "You might be my little brother. You might make $1 million, but you're still my little brother. You will respect me."
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the same principle.
No, it is. You're damn right. It absolutely is the same principle. The problem is parents won't stand up to it. You could turn on any of these YouTubes.
Parents get greedy too.
Yeah,
Well,
Gary
of course
Coleman.
They get greedy. They don't want to. They don't want
Macaulay
to lose the
Culkin.
money. You start living a comfortable life where you don't have to live by somebody else's means, and you ain't got to worry about how am I.
I don't have to work. Little Gary's saying what
Right,
you talk
exactly.
about, Willis, every week, and I'm making bank.
And all I got to do is just make sure that he gets his stuff that he
If your kids were suddenly
wants.
millionaires tomorrow, like I would hope the instinct is you're going to protect your kid's money. It's like, this is my kid's money. I'm going to protect it.
No, absolutely.
Because they're going to have a bunch of friends going to want this, that, and other thing. That's where you got to teach them, like, listen.
Yeah, no, it don't work like that, right?
The quickest way to make someone hate you is to give them money.
Exactly. That's funny, dude. That's absolutely because what's his name? Ryan Reynolds ran into that with his best friend, and his best friend was borrowing money, and Ryan was like, "Dude, I'm not a bank. I'm sorry, dude. I've known you my whole life.
I worked for this,
right? But I can't. I got to say no." So then he went behind Ryan Reynolds' back when nobody knew what his baby looked like and took pictures of his baby. And that's when he was like, dude, we're done. We're done. Like, you needed money that bad. We're done.
Your point originally was, what if the kid is making money? I had a job. I've been employed since I was 10 years old.
No, but not only making money.
Making the money.
Making the money.
I made my own money. I didn't have to ask my mom for $20 to go to the mall. I didn't have to ask for however much to buy an Atari game or whatever. I made sure I had good and plenty of my own. If there was something big,
mine was
we go
allowance
half.
until I had the paper route.
Yeah,
Then I had the paper route. And it was.
I give my parents a lot of credit. They didn't take away things I paid for. Bike, Atari, et cetera, so forth. Any gimmick that I bought was mine. They can't take it. But if you run it through my electricity, I own that. If it's in, whatever. There's only so much you can do. If you make the money, you buy the thing, it's yours. If you bought it for me, if Mike, you bought me an Xbox tomorrow, and you're my parent, and I have screwed up, you have every right to take that Xbox.
What?
I don't care if it was a
Absolutely.
Christmas gift or what have you.
Absolutely, but like I
Bought
said,
and paid for.
if they're paying for the house, if they're paying for the electricity, if they're paying for your car, if they're paying for your gas to go get them their new electronic devices because they still can't
You're saying,
drive.
what if they're the primary caregiver?
Right, exactly. Well, not even the primary caregiver, because obviously they're not cooking for you.
I think, unfortunately,
they're not cooking for you, and they're not.
You got a
they're
maid,
not-
yeah, you
right,
got a
exactly,
butler.
exactly. They're bringing in the money. Like, there's that one family where they just sit there, and that one son is just going crazy, and they just record the dad just being, and the mom's like. Millions of fucking people watch these people. Like, they're getting paid for this family to just act like a dysfunctional group of idiots. Like, seriously. So the kids are making this money. It's their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So how do you control that?
Well, I would say, you'd sit them down and be like, okay, listen, financially, you're an adult.
By the eyes of the state, you are mine.
Not even that. Like, financially, you're an adult. It's like, I will guide you the best I can with that money. You can pay some of the bills, whatever, but you're still contributing to a household.
Right.
What was the
Right.
picture online some months ago? Go ahead.
Well, that's just it.
Here's the thing.
That's
I'm not a huge
These parents
fan
are
of
just as guilty because they're leaving their jobs. They're leaving
And
their
living
jobs
off the
and
kid.
living off the kids.
Gary Coleman, Macaulay Culkin.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's
So,
the
I
other
mean-
one? Shit.
Well,
Big actor.
Gary Coleman's parents were managing his career and they just mismanaged his fund.
No,
But they were still living off of him.
Oh, absolutely, they were. They called them the manager and the managerette.
Right. But they bilked him. There's no reason he had to do those stupid
think-
reality shows later on. He should have been living large in a freaking private island.
I just think,
Or living small.
regardless of how much money whoever's making in a household, you're still, like, overall, you're all contributing to a household. Like, I don't subscribe to the whole I'm paying the bills, so I set all the rules. You're contributing to a household. It's like, if you don't do your share of the household, I don't care how much money
The
you make.
household falls apart.
Right. Absolutely.
And if you're the weak link in the chain, you can be called out like that. I mean, it's tribalism. Say family's a tribe, you know? Like,
it is.
You are the weak link in the family.
We just said that was the thing we opened with. It takes a village to raise a fucking child. Let's say we're all a family and Chris is a millionaire. We can both be like, Chris, I know you're rich and everything, but, Mike did the dishes. I did the dishes. You haven't done the dishes. This week. Exactly.
I don't care how you do it.
My millions don't stop me. I don't
care if you pay one of my kids $300 to do it.
Right.
It's getting done by you.
Right.
Because either way, that's a cost analysis. It's like if you're going to blow your money, I'm not going to stop
It certainly could be considered a payable bill. If you live in a house rent-free, scot-free, or if you're bringing in billions of dollars, the house doesn't take care of itself.
Right.
The floor's got to be swept, laundry's got to be done, things have to happen, and if you're not doing it, you're a deadbeat. Absolutely. Whether you're 13 years old or 33 years old.
You can look at it this way, too. Like, your kids could buy a house for you, but it's still your house, and if they're going to live in it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And 9 times out of 10, you're the one that takes care of it. You're the one that knows how to run it at this point. So they're... for them to take over a house is absolutely fucking ridiculous. The problem, like I said, is when you have these children that have that much control and these parents let into it, then that's when you lose that control and that's when it's gone.
I mean, we're talking about a huge fantasy.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
It's valid, though.
But don't forget, there's still 5 million people watching this. There's still people.
Let me say this. If Madison or Emma could come up with an idea that makes $2 million a month, I'll scrub the floor with a toothbrush.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I wake up every morning. Put a
30 rack in the fridge and food in my belly, and I will scrub your floor with a toothbrush
every morning.
If you're bringing in $2 million a month,
smile on my face.
I whistle your face. I will sing. My name is no. My number is no. While I'm scrubbing the floor.
Like let's face it, there's certain kids that suck at things. But if they have like a lot of stuff going on in their head, I tell them all the time, well, write it down. Like you can make a blog on Blogger for free. Like write it down and throw some ads on it, make a few bucks. There's no shame in that.
No, absolutely.
No, however the dollar comes in, you still did something to make a dollar.
For yourself.
You didn't put your hand out. Exactly.
For yourself.
You didn't put your hand out and say, Mom, can I? Or Dad, can I? He said, you know what? I'm going to put my mind to muscle and I'm going to make a dollar. However you do it, as long as it's not selling drugs. So wait till you're 18 to do that.
You guys go make that dollar. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a great DJ or karaoke service? Look no further than Viking Entertainment. This area's largest and best DJ and karaoke service available. KJ Loki and KJ Lady J will take care of your every need. Wedding, Sweet 16, bar, they can do it. Dial 860-204-6876 and get Viking Entertainment for your next party, event, or bar function.
Welcome back, everybody. So we've pretty much broken down a little bit of what's going on with today's generation with kids. We've told you where we've come from. Let me ask you guys. We'll start over here with my partner.
Oh,
what are some qualities that make a great parent in your eyes?
Wow, I think of a couple. Respect is one. You have to have respect for yourself, respect for the world around you, and that teaches your child to have respect for others. Like you brought up earlier, you introduce a kid to someone, hey, this is Mr. Smith. The kid should be respectful. Hello, Mr. Smith. My friend Jeff. When I met his...
we don't have to break it down where they're calling us Mr. and Mr.
No. I have a friend, Jeff, listens to the show. When he introduced me to his kid, this is Mr. Burns. And they were little. I was like, no, guys, call me Chris. No, you will call him Mr. Burns. Now they're... one's a junior at NFA, one is starting his freshman year at NFA. They pull that Mr. Burns shit. You call me Chris. You've earned it.
Right.
And they look at their dad and he said, you can do it. And they do it. And it was like, okay, Chris. Respect is a big one. Work ethic. If you show your child that you are willing to bust your hump day in, day out, whether you make a nickel or $5 million, you are teaching that child that going forward, nothing is handed to you. Life is not full of participation trophies. Life is the harder you work, the better the reward. In some cases, you work very hard and you get very little reward, but the reward is inside. You know you've done a hard day's work. Compassion. You have to be compassionate to not only your children, to your friends, your partners, your wife, your husband, the world around you.
The world can definitely use a little bit more compassion nowadays.
We've thrown it out there twice when the Immortal went to Haiti. That's compassion. Mm-hmm. That is helping those that either couldn't get help or wouldn't have the help regardless. You're doing for the greater good. And to teach your children compassion is teaching them how to survive later on in life. And the other thing, I hate to say it like this, but competition. You want to be number one? Bust your ass and become number one. I don't rest unless I feel I'm doing what I can to be number one, whether it's the number one podcast in the world or the number one parent in the world, or if you give me a puzzle, I want to be the guy that finishes it first. If I'm playing a board game, I want to be that guy that kicks all your asses.
I like that point a lot, actually. There is no more rivalries.
There isn't. Rivalries.
As far as sports are concerned, as far as like even say neighborhoods. I mean, if you got rivalries now, it's you're my rival in Call of Duty.
Big freaking deal. You brought neighborhood rivalries. We had a little neighborhood rivalry, and it wasn't always fist fights, but it was like kickball games or softball games. No, it
doesn't have to be. That's just it.
My neighborhood is better than yours, and here it is.
When I say rivalry, it's not about violence and this, that, and the other thing. It's just about this person brings out the best in you, and vice versa. You bring out the best in them. When you face, it's the same thing. The reason why they call the Red Sox Yankees a rivalry, it's because that
they bring out the best. Michigan, Ohio State.
We might not have the best team of the year, but when we face each other, it's war. It's a fight. It's like two dogs.
Some weeks ago, we had Frank Sadowski sit right in this chair. He's one of my oldest and dearest friends, but on the baseball field, that was the guy I wanted to be better than, and I was the guy he wanted to be better than.
Exactly.
And we fought. Not with fists or anything, but on that baseball diamond, we fought tooth and nail to be better than each other.
Absolutely.
And we did. We really did bring out and if he whiffed me, then you know what? I took my lumps, I brushed myself off, and I went back out to say, I'm going to get him next time. And if he put a shot up the middle and I went to my left and knocked it down and threw him out, I'm going to get him the next time.
Absolutely.
That is, the spirit of competition lives. The problem is, what are we teaching our kids? It's okay just to show up. Here's a trophy. You're fucking fabulous.
Right, exactly. There's not really the spirit of competition when the parents are trying to tell the coaches what's going on. They're more worried about how much. Quit. Yeah, they're more worried about why their kids aren't getting no play time than everything else.
Why isn't my son playing center field? You're playing him at second. He's a natural center fielder.
The kids are biting right into it. They're like, well, why aren't I?
As the coach, let me tell you, one, your kid can't catch.
Yeah.
2, he's not that fast. So 3, he's not a natural center fielder. Sit down, shut up, move along.
Can't do that.
No, you can't because now you're handcuffed by everything. But those are my things.
I definitely agree.
Thank you. Going back, Ed brought up something the other day. There's not winners and losers anymore. There's like winners and 13th place winners. Talk about that.
No, it's George Carlin's theory. Nobody loses. Everybody wins last.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to win? Put your best out there. Spirit of competition lives. We have to find it. As adults, we have to instill it in our kids. Society has to really bring it back.
Absolutely.
Well, it goes back to core American values, too. The entire country was built on competition, and people making their own way and either building a better product or whatever.
You always had to build a better product, right? I mean, that's how...
Kids aren't really taught that so much anymore. They're actually starting to be taught that no matter what you do, there's somebody above you that's keeping you down.
Right, the man.
So don't bother.
See, I've never heard that. What I've heard is it doesn't matter as long as you try. Well, trying is great. I can try to build a car. I'm not going to succeed. I'm not going to get a fucking trophy for it, but I can try anything. If I find something I'm good at, I'm going to own it.
Oh, see, the thing is, you can try all day long. Right, but you could try all day long. It don't matter if you're good or not. Knowledge isn't there.
Exactly. Either knowledge or talent.
Right. Or, I mean, you could be born,
If we sucked at what we did, we wouldn't be here 75 weeks later.
Oh, fuck no.
No.
Well, we might be, but we're embarrassing ourselves at that point.
Right. We wouldn't be number 135 in our ratings. So, we're moving out of 300,000. Thank you very much.
So what do you got?
Yeah, really.
Like I said, I think the biggest problem is the generation gap, and I think it's important that it's huge, and I noticed it mostly with baby boomers and millennials entirely skipping Generation X, which I think pretty much we're all here.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just as baby boomers and millennials blaming each other for why things are so bad. And that makes me laugh because when you look at, the people that have been in charge for so long and how long they've been in charge, they're voting for the same people. Mm-hmm. So they're both creating this nightmare. And it's like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you got.
And so I think it's important to stay in touch. Because, I think for the most part, we had it pretty good.
I like that.
Oh, without question.
The music was the best. Television was the best, in my opinion.
Movies were fantastic.
Right. And
movies were amazing back then. You remember?
Red Dawn like a mofo, baby.
Right. Well, that was the 80s, but I'm thinking like
I'm an 80s kid.
Well, I think the 90s is when we peaked, in my opinion.
You're not far off.
I think
you're not far off.
I think from the 90s. I mean, some of us were becoming adults, but
no, absolutely. That's when I enjoyed. I enjoyed the.
The 90s was a great time.
I enjoyed the hell out of the 90s.
There was, there was a lot more acceptance and stuff. We were starting to.
We were actually.
More tolerant.
I'll tell you, we were at that point in this country. Maybe that's why we freaking went into where we were, because in the 90s we were pretty fucking close.
Right, and
we learned how to get along with people that we had no business getting along with, according to society.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my quote.
Well, like racism's a perfect example. We grew up in the projects. We wouldn't have survived if we were racist. No. Not to say there weren't racist people there.
Oh, of course.
But,
But it was very minimal. The way that they acted was minimal. There was some respect.
I think we had more exposure. I mean, you can have, again, technology has brought us a long way where you're exposed to more things now via the vehicle of technology. You can see more things than kids in our day ever could see. Mm-hmm. You have every bit of information you could ever want is at your fingertips at a moment's notice. Whereas if you, Ed, wanted to know the population of Czechoslovakia, you had to traipse your ass down to the library or pick up an encyclopedia. There you go. That blonde kid came to your door and sold you.
My mom shelled out a couple grand for those fuckers.
Yeah.
It was like
and
crazy.
They were wonderful, but you had to search for it. You had to do the work. What is the work now? I'm going to type in Czechoslovakia. It's going to bring me to Wikipedia. Wikipedia's going to tell me everything I need.
All due respect, you have to sort through the porn first, and then
black cocks.
You have to sort through the Czechoslovakian cock first.
Did you mean black cocks?
No, I did not.
No. Okay.
No, I went there and now I'm back.
Portuguese.
In case anybody wants to know, that's a Ted 2 reference.
Yes, it is. But
so is Do You Know What's Fucked Up, by the way.
Just because you had, we had to put that one right there.
See, I think, and I've always been big on this. I think the core root of the problems is people from our generation who, when they became adults and some of them became teachers, because I know a lot of people who became teachers, suddenly looked at their lives and you're just like, you know what? There was nothing meaningful about my life. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And they look at the people that actually had real problems, like the civil rights era or whatever, women's suffrage and all that. Like, wow, I really
we wanted to make a difference then because our lives were pretty decent that we wanted to make a change in other people's lives.
Everybody does. But sometimes there's nothing wrong with being like, you know what? Fuck it. Everything's good.
Life is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you breathing?
And
Life's
so
good.
These people from our generation, which is sad, is teaching a lot of these kids, like, you know what? They're creating these phony problems just to get them fired up. Mm-hmm. And now this is why you have that entitled generation that really has probably never seen a real problem in their lives.
Right, exactly. And then, like we said, does it fall down to the parent, to the teacher, both of them? What's going on with them? When you're getting paid the teacher's salary that they're getting paid, half of them don't give a damn if you fucking turn in that
because
homework
they're getting
not,
paid. No offense to anybody who's ever worked there, but you're getting paid Stop and Shop money to do a job that you should have.
And we got CEOs who fucking tell you that toilet paper's fluffier on your left ass cheek than your right ass cheek, making fucking $5 million a year when teachers deserve to get all that money.
I've always said anybody in a public service job, as long as you do the job right,
because they want to keep us stupid. They want to keep us stupid, man.
If you keep society down, you create your own problems.
And that's why we're saying
you should,
Gary Johnson for president.
Keep him in touch, baby. Keep in touch.
Gary Johnson doesn't believe in the public school system, but which I don't really anymore either.
It's hard to nowadays.
How can you? And it's not the teacher's fault. That's what I'm saying.
But
when you have, just like we said at the beginning of the show,
education.
Just how I open up the show, it's the same thing. When it's not just you against the kids, and it's you against the kids and the parents, what the hell are you supposed to do?
If you as a parent, you can do everything you can within these four walls to tell your kid, this is how life is. You have to struggle. You have to fight that Rocky Balboa thing that we talk about a million times.
I love it.
I would love to play it if I didn't think somebody would gig us and try to get money out of us. I would play that live here on this show. However, that speech, and if you haven't heard that speech, go out and look it up. It's from the movie of the same name, Rocky Balboa. He's talking to his kid. Life hits harder than anything else. If you're teaching your kid that every day and they're toughening up and they're like, you know what, I do have to fight for everything I get. And everything I get, I earn. And what I earn, I keep. And what I keep is mine. And then they go to this school and they're told, if your dad raises his voice, you will be scarred for life and your little psyche will crack. And we have people that you can talk to. I want to take each one of those people out back. Just put my hand on their shoulders and say, did you ever have a parent who taught you right from wrong? Because if you did, you're doing them a disservice right now. You are failing your parents where your parents made you a success.
Absolutely.
Go tell your parents right now you are sorry before I belt you in the mouth. That's all I got to say.
Keep in touch.
Good point, Ed. I'm gonna keep in touch with the principal the next time I hear that speech.
I was just saying, let's not throw up the generation gap. You know, it's like that. Don't blame them for the successes of the generation before, and that happens a lot.
It does, but I'll also go to Mike's point. I don't know if it was some weeks ago, and there was one tonight. Is that our generation really is on point for a lot of these things? Kinder, gentler America, and No Kid Left Behind, which I agree with to some extent. I do agree with to some extent, but if you fail on your own merit. If you didn't pay attention, you fail a test, you're out.
But like I was saying, with that No Child Be Left Behind, that is making sure everybody is on board. The parents are on board. The teachers are on board. The school is on board. And as long as all three of these factors are communicating, there is no reason why that child should not be passing. There is none whatsoever. But when you have the parents that just do this, and sign the piece of paper and don't read the 5, the 10 pages or whatever they need to read. I forget what it is now. I think it's like 10 minutes or whatever it was.
Something like
then.
that.
Yeah, but
since she's afraid to come on microphone, even though she's earned it, she's sitting here in the room is the immortal beloved, who was our first and only Patreon donation. She wants to put this in a quality of being a great parent, not forgetting what it felt like to be 5, 9, 12, 15, etc. And to remember that tough love works. You can't be their friend. You are not their peer. You are their parent. Thoughts?
Oh, I've said that to my kids all the time.
What's your buddy?
Dude, what the fuck did you just say? I ain't your fucking bro. I'm your dad.
Oh, my God. That's like my catchphrase lately. My name is not dude.
I ain't your boy. I ain't your cuz. I ain't your brother. I'm your fucking father.
I ain't homie.
I have said that a few times, probably more times than I care to say it, but no, they absolutely.
My favorite one is this. I do this. How many of these bills are you paying this month?
I don't even like I said earlier about.
See, I actually hate that.
Why?
What did I say earlier? The same thing about putting the bows on the switches. It doesn't get to them. Bring yourself back to that point when you were that age.
I never had. I don't know if I'm in the minority, the majority, or in the middle. I never had that issue because I was just. Maybe I was raised differently to be thankful for the fact that I had food, a roof.
But you didn't
matter how meager.
But you didn't think of it, did you?
No, I just thought this is my house.
Did you think every day? Hey, did you think about power, house, electricity, all that stuff as much as you do now?
Not until my teens,
right? Because you actually started having to contribute or becoming a part of it.
I became aware once I actually, at 10 years old, got the paper route and I saw that it takes work to get the dollar.
Right. But
so those first 10 years, no.
Right,
you're absolutely right.
You don't
Good point.
Think about it.
No.
You don't think about it.
Money is earned. It's not given.
I always hate the revert to I pay the bills. When I hear that, it's like, okay, you don't really have.
So then what? Okay, right. No. I'll go to that question. You're going on the right path. Go.
You're equating somebody who didn't ask to be born in the first place.
None of us asked to be born.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're asking somebody who didn't ask to be born in the first place to have a dollar amount placed to their value.
So,
and I disagree with that.
So
I understand the point.
Should the kids be allowed to run amok and not be appreciative?
No,
okay. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, when you say something like, if I'm paying the bills, first of all, every kid knows you are legally obligated to feed them and clothe them. So it's a stupid argument.
They should.
If they know it at that age, I applaud the teachers for teaching them how it works.
If you want to say, like I said, if you want to say something like,
there's a beer in my future.
If you want to say something like, you know what, your level of comfort will change with your attitude, that's fine. But if you break it down to, I'm paying money, so listen to me.
Should they not have a respect for what it takes to run a household, though?
No, absolutely. No, I definitely see where you're coming from with that.
I've only pulled that card twice, by the way.
Twice. Well, here's my argument. Okay, what if they said, I don't care, can I leave?
You can go live with your mom. Have fun.
Well, I'm just saying that's not always an option.
You're right, it isn't. In my situation, it is.
If you let the kid walk out, now it's your fault.
If there's two parents involved and they say, okay, well, I don't accept your monetary terms.
What happens if that were to happen? You're right.
You can't let them leave.
If Emma pulled that card with me and said, you know what, I just don't want to be around you.
Like if I ever had a job that said, I pay your salary, degrade yourself, I'm going to leave.
Well, there's a certain contract of employment that says they can't do that, but we're not going to go into that.
Well, you know what I'm saying,
right.
Though. What I'm saying is you cannot place a monetary value on your authority.
No, but you can place the fact that you...
Because someone on welfare can say that shit.
Sure. Well, are they paying the bills, though?
No, I am.
Okay.
No, they could, though.
Then I should go into the house and tell that kid.
You really could. They have power assistants. They have state assistants.
Then
they have food stamp assistants.
Then maybe the three of us go arm in arm into that house and say...
Technically, I'm not trying to dog anybody, but technically, yes, you could live off of state assistance and pay for everything.
You know,
let's find somebody who does, go arm in arm and say, hey, I pay the bills up in this motherfucker. You follow my rules.
Believe me, I've used it before. I'm not dogging on the.
I understand.
I'm not dogging on it at all.
And you know what? That's the measure of what we do and the measure of who we are as people is that you can look at me and say, Chris, I don't agree with you. And you know what I'm going to go? Ed, let me hear why.
No, absolutely.
Well, here's the thing. Let me put it this way. Like, one of the best on-screen fathers, I think, is
Mike Brady.
Lawrence Fishburne in Boys in the Hood.
Yes.
Okay? He doesn't put a dollar amount. He just says what his obligations are. My obligations are to pay the bills, feed you, make sure you don't get killed or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, my obligation is not for you to be comfortable.
Right.
Or do anything. You know, he's like, these are my obligations. So you are going to meet your obligations.
Exactly.
But the whole I pay the bill, so listen to me thing is just like...
No, it's like I said earlier. I agree with the same thing, man.
It's putting a dollar amount on servitude of your kid.
But it's also kind of like a dog staring at the wall. Like, it's going right past them.
No, they're probably not going to listen, but
they don't see it.
I hated hearing that.
They don't know, absolally. And what did you do? You tune that shit right the fuck out.
I did.
Whatever, dude. Okay, fine. You're like, whatever.
I kind of tuned it out. That's all I'm saying. I just think it's the wrong direction to go when you're talking to somebody because here's the reality of the situation is you're not going to stop doing it. No matter what. No. Because you can't.
You know what another reality of the situation is? The way you just expressed yourself and came about it makes me look at it in a different direction. It's a measure of a man, my friend. You were raised right. Swig a beer to you, my friend. And swig a beer to Mama Eddie, wherever you are, because you can't find a podcast on a map, according to your son.
She hasn't. So
all right, Michael.
What else do you
Second class Petty Officer Jacobs, if you're listening.
Oh, good.
What else do you got?
Amen.
You got
anything else?
That's a strong part of it. I think everybody's covered it pretty good. I mean, like I said, finish him. We grew up with the whole grandpa in the corner talking about how all he ever did was chop wood.
Been trying to break it in the whole episode.
He's been waiting.
I would slip it in there. Chopping wood.
You and your Pokemon Go. When I was a kid, all I did was chop wood.
Grandpa, how did you earn a nickel when you were a kid?
Chopped wood.
What'd you do for fun?
Chopped wood.
What'd you do in school?
Chopped wood.
He worked at wood shop.
Yeah,
Where'd you take Grandma on her first date?
Chopped wood.
So,
and she liked it. The pennies dropped.
Oh, good God.
It's horrible.
Here's where we just lost every listener. Right
Rest in peace, Grandma. And
so,
Grandpa.
I'm going to break down my quick ones. Imagination. You gotta
hang on. I gotta look that up.
You gotta look up imagination real quick.
Did you mean black cocks?
We brought it up earlier on the show, and we got to bring it up again. It's very important that you don't lose sight of having that little bit of magic left in this world, because the minute you lose magic, this world just becomes freaking deader than a door.
I've said that before, and I don't mean to hijack your point, but oh wow, Ed found it. Here I am at 43 years old, and I'm still creative. I still, whether it's here on this podcast or at home on my little WWE or hockey game gimmick or reading or writing, the minute I lose imagination, just put me in the box and lower me in, man.
I've been pick-arting it like a motherfucker lately.
I want to be like 70 and still have this desire to create something. Because the minute you lose that...
Out of wood!
See, the minute you lose that, you become Ed's grandfather chopping wood every 30 minutes, whether he needs it or not. I watch Charlie Rose on PBS and I chop wood.
And I sell the wood to chop the wood.
Truth be told, my grandfather didn't talk like that, but one side of the house was a huge pile of wood. It never went down.
Game, set, match, Eddie Focus.
Every single one.
There you go.
You got to have strength.
Physical, mental, or emotional?
All of them.
There you go.
Period. You just need strength. There are going to be times when obviously children test you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and you can't show them the ounce of weakness at that point. Later on down the line, like when you're having that talk, which, you all will eventually have, right? You can say, you had me broke down a few times, you motherfucker.
I was already an adult.
But...
That was last week, wasn't it?
No, it was. That was a very good conversation.
Yeah,
I walked
sex is gross.
I'm glad I could help.
He lasted 2 seconds.
Yeah, which is a second more than any one of us gave him.
Horrible. But no, I mean they are. They're gonna test every aspect of it. They're gonna test every ounce of it that you have, and they're looking just for that. The moment it's like when an animal senses that fear.
I've seen the size of your boys too. Pulling them apart can't be easy.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets worse every year. That's why I'm glad they're actually not fighting as much anymore.
It's not so much a devil's advocate moment, but it's a question that pops into my head. Is I know the parent has to have strength, but how do you teach? You can't teach physical strength. You have to build that.
Right.
How do you instill into your children,
and I'll
from
tell
your
you what,
opinion?
Some of them are just growing with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like my boys don't hit the gym, but I'll tell you what, they're just like Hulk smash now.
Yeah. But how, in your opinion, because I know how I would do it, Ed, I'd love to hear your answer too. How do you teach the children to have that emotional and mental strength?
They learn it by watching you.
That was a great commercial back in the day.
But they really do. They really do. Anything that they put you through, they're testing you. Whether you want to believe it or not, those children are testing you, and they're testing you to further themselves into adulthood. So when they actually go through that, the whole thing of them going through that is to actually see how you react to it and how they
Agreed.
react
I'd like to
it.
think the last 10 months of my life was not only a proving ground, but a teaching moment for my daughter is that, you know what, I'm not going to sit back and wait for something to happen to me. I'm going to go out and make
going
something
right into
happen.
my third one.
Okay.
You never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never, ever stop learning with children and with yourself. Always learn from them. They learn from you. It's never, you never, ever stop learning. That's the one thing.
Go ahead.
I think the only thing I can comment on is a conversation I actually had with your boys where I said to them, like, keep investing in yourself and don't listen to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't listen to
my granddad said the same thing.
I hate to say it, is like, don't listen to your friends.
No.
Oh, I did listen
Going
to my
back
friends.
to the Boys in the Hood thing, like those guys out there, they don't have what you have, and you're going to see how they turn out.
I did listen to my friends. I didn't listen to my parents. You can't do this. Wrong. You can do it. You put your mind and your heart into it. You do the best you can, and maybe this isn't for you, but look over here. There's another opportunity. That didn't work. There's another opportunity. You will find it. You will succeed. And you'll be a happier person for it. Don't let, I'll go back, that point is great though. Don't let anybody stand in the way of your dream. That was what my grandfather told me.
They're gonna pull you into fights you don't need to be in.
No, absolutely.
And you're seeing it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, you should.
And you're gonna see how all those people are gonna turn out.
I think we're seeing it now. The last thing, never forget to laugh. Like, no matter what they do,
scare them as they walk into the bathroom.
And no matter how angry they may get, you know, how angry you may get at them, laugh about it.
Oh, yeah.
Laugh about it. Just It's not worth it in the end. It's so not worth it to be pissed off about it, angry about it, scream at them about it. Just laugh. Show them that you do have that side about you and teach them that this world
Yeah, because if there's one thing I learned in being a parent is be in tune with them, don't tune them out. Because the minute you're a parent that tunes out your kids, you've lost them.
Yeah, take that 5. I mean, you know, people joke about it, or they say whatever they want. 10-second thing.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That 10-second thing seriously works. Like, do yourself a favor. If you do get that angry, and you have a toddler, close the door, hold the door, count to 10 seconds, and open up that door.
It doesn't even go to toddlers. I get
any of them, but I mean, when they get bigger, they're going to start trying to force that door open.
Your kids walk through the door. What's one of your first questions to them?
How you been?
How you been? How was your day? How was school? I do the same thing. And whether I get a 15-minute response or a 15-millisecond response, it shows that I care.
Yeah,
and regardless, if
you're
they're
investing in them.
And if their mood is not in a place where they want to give me a 15-minute soliloquy on the ins and outs of their day, fine. If you just want to say, yeah, it was all right. You know what? You've done enough. Congratulations. At least you answered my question.
Hey, I'll see you for dinner. Do your homework.
They know whether or not they say it outright, they know you care.
I ask about Anna's day. All I get is, I want a snack.
That's because that's her whole day. She's 3, man. Come on.
Can I get juice?
She can work a tablet, but
Call
she
me
can't
back.
tell me about her day.
No. She doesn't want to tell you about her secret Minecraft mission. Damn it.
These 3-year-olds these days, bullshit.
No, say it right and use the fist.
Horseshit!
Very nice.
She should be chopping wood.
Oh, my
All day.
God. So, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's do this.
I am ready.
Your final countdown this week is brought to you by Sublime Ink Tattoo and Piercing Parlor in Groton, Connecticut, 577 Route 12. The number is 860-445-4200. If you're looking for your next great tattoo experience, you can call my man Falcon Dave Kovalik. You can call the Batgirl Dana Batts. You can call Chewbacca himself, Justin Furr. Or if you're looking for your next sick, nasty, crazy, beautiful tattoo, you can call
Dave the Nightmare Kruger.
Tell them the Loki and Jabroni show sent you. Maybe Dave Kovalik will come in and rub your butt with oil. Maybe they'll give you a discount. Maybe, just maybe, they'll pierce something. I don't know.
Ooh, if you ask for
Or
it.
perhaps they'll chop some wood.
Maybe.
Oh dear, we're good. You know, let's get away from the wood.
No, he doesn't want to get away from this.
Especially on your Google machine.
You spend all night talking about black cock, but we can't talk about my wood.
Right?
Yes,
Can't talk about whitewood?
That was a Howard Stern moment right there.
Birchwood. You know, I'm half Negro and Howard's half Negro too.
We're talking about whitewood.
Whatever you got.
All right. So we are talking about those Packers.
How'd they do Sunday, by
Those
the way?
Packers. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings.
Where did they
And
lose
I'll
to the
tell you
Vikings
what,
to?
In our season opener for our new stadium.
The home opener.
Now listen, the Packers have played very, very much the bad guy for our last 4 openers.
Mm-hmm.
When we opened the Triple H Metrodome, the
Not the Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Hubert H. Humphrey. See, you got me doing it now.
I do it too. When they opened it, guess who beat us?
Packers.
When we went to the Minnesota freaking thing, Packers. When we reopened after the thing, Packers. Nope. Not this freaking Sunday night. Sunday night belonged to the Vikings. We had our man Bjorn Thorgensen.
No kidding.
He opened up with the skull chant. That
Nice.
was fantastic.
The tribute to Prince.
That was fantastic.
That was gorgeous.
The fact that they can do that on the freaking
Was that not gorgeous?
awesome. That was like right on the 50-yard line. They just had it was like watching an HD film.
And again, we'll go back. It's the age of technology, and they can do anything
Right.
they want
No,
with whatever they
really
want.
can, but
It really was. It was
beautiful, beautiful
spectacular.
stadium, and I'm so glad the Packers didn't take that away from us. So my top 10 list this week is a tribute to them Packers. Top 10 reasons the Packers fucking suck.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then we had no honorable mention because the Packers suck and they don't deserve an honorable mention.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 10.
Sick burn.
Your name is the Packers. Oh no. Look out. Here come the Packers.
Wow. Good point. Look, Panthers, Falcons, Eagles, prey, animals that go out and kill things. Exactly why am I supposed to be scared of a packer? A bear.
Look out, he's packing.
Okay, and look, I'm not picking on Lady J or anything, but I'm not afraid of a dolphin either. But at least it's
dolphin will fuck you up.
Yeah, it will. But that's what I'm about to say. It'll smack you around with that door. But a packer.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Number 9. Your fans wear big blocks of cheese on their heads.
Ooh, there's the devil advocate moment.
It's Wisconsin, bro.
Then name them.
Big old block.
Okay,
you know, some of them actually put real blocks of cheese on their head. You do realize
there's
right?
There's a team, 30. There's a baseball team 30 miles down the road called the Milwaukee Brewers in baseball. Why? Because they
drink beer.
Right. And you know what happens when they hit a home run? A guy in a suit slides down the gimmick and goes down into a vat of beer, or so they say. It's probably empty, but at least the Packers. And wearing cheese. I know you're in Wisconsin. I know it's the cheese state, but find something else.
Thank you. Number 8. Your fans freeze their asses off to see one of your games. Come on, man. Your freaking stadium is older than dirt itself, than the dirt that is on the field. That stadium is old as shit.
Well, you need some Super Bowl wins to get a new stadium.
They have some.
Yeah, when?
Exactly.
I've said 2 in a row.
I've said that too, but
well, okay. Here. Now we got to bring up the Cowboys because their 2 Super Bowls in a row was probably around the same time. The Cowboys won a couple in the 90s, and everybody's fighting over who's better. Get something now.
Yeah, I remember when they did that. I'm talking about.
Oh, did
Cowboys.
Aaron Rodgers win one?
Cowboys wasn't Hammer going.
Either that or Cobain was shooting himself in the face at the time.
Or being shot.
Yeah, depending on who you listen to.
Number 7, you're a publicly traded team, so you got like 3,645,001 owners.
And not one of you can pick a decent player.
Not one.
I think you're bitter because you can't own a piece of the Vikings.
I wouldn't want.
I don't know that I
wouldn't want
364,000. You might when you get that first dividend.
61.
Oh, what's your dividend going to be? $19?
Yeah, exactly.
$19 you didn't have.
Yeah, if I put
I'd rather have Arthur Blank's paycheck.
$50. Number 6, Clay Matthews and Fabio have never been seen together. Just saying. Just
going back to the tribute to Prince. Until he died, I never saw Paul Stanley and Prince in the same place. I always thought they were the same person.
Now we know
that Paul Stanley's the real deal.
Yeah.
And so was Prince.
You're not number 5. Your running back can't keep those damn cheeseburgers out of his mouth. Cheeseburger Eddie, put the cheeseburgers down.
I got the fries that'll cross your eyes.
Number 4. Your colors are green and yellow. You're pretty much like living vomit. Come on, people.
Or diarrhea, depending on how you look at it.
You were like one of the first football teams in the NFL. You had your choice.
I would have loved to be in that meeting.
Colors.
I would have loved to be in that meeting. Hey, guys.
Pick green and yellow.
Guys, we're going to start a football team. We need some colors that are going to be really menacing. Let's pick green and yellow.
And call them the Packers.
Oh, God.
Number 3.
I'm with you.
Your stadium is pretty much just a giant mud puddle. Let's be honest.
Until late November,
By the time you watch any of your shows that actually do make it on prime time, you guys are doing it during the daytime because at nighttime it turns into a big giant slosh pool.
A day game in September or October in Green Bay is like a big mud pit. And then it becomes a frozen, like that whole thing, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Well, the reason
because it's a goddamn ice rink.
I think they just spray paint the mud.
I think it's just an ice rink.
It has to be.
That's all it is. Number 2, you think handlebar mustaches are cool because Aaron Rodgers wears one. Yeah.
What are you gonna do, brother? That whole handlebar mustache
YMCA.
I'd rather see him pull the Raleigh Fingers waxed twisted gimmick than that Fu Manchu Hulk Hogan thing that he rocks.
Dude, that thing is horrible. The handlebar fucking mustache,
John Holmes
baby.
had one. Give him a break.
John Holmes also had 12 of another thing.
And the number 1 reason why the Packers suck, not the clap.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. I was cheering the last one.
You think Wrangler jeans are cool because Brett Favre wears them.
Real, comfortable jeans. I bet you also think sexting a woman is cool, too.
And I just want y'all to know, just because y'all get a divorce does not mean y'all can't still be cousins.
That's in Arkansas.
That's in Wisconsin.
Is that Wisconsin, too?
That's Wisconsin, too.
That boy ain't right.
That's true. It's true.
Oh, my God. How do I get involved in this? But I love it.
I do, too. Guys, we want to, once again, thank you all for the reviews. We want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. We want to thank our lovelies for putting up with our habit, our hobby.
It's a hobby.
It's
a hobby.
I want to thank each and every
hobby
one
that's
of you.
worth 3 cents
right now. Exactly.
I'm getting paid. You can't tell me what to do.
I want to.
What is she saying?
So much. She's talking so much shit over there.
Why don't you come over here where the silver thing is and talk your junk? No, I didn't think so.
Come collect your prize.
Yeah.
That sounded so dirty.
You're getting a return. You're here.
Prize, baby.
No, wait. Let's break down a barrier as you're sitting way over there.
No more girlfriends in the studio.
No. I'm into this.
You guys are a distraction. You're a distraction.
Mike got to play devil's advocate like 96 times today. Let me do it. You're technically our boss. Come over here and tell us what to do. Still love you, always have.
That's it, Peter, man. Get over here.
Thomas is here. We're screwed.
Hey, you guys, I don't got enough views on that. I still have a partner.
Dear God. Thomas, stick to the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Is there son of a bitch still in my basement?
Man.
Get the hell out of my basement, asshole!
Let's also remember one more shout out to Lee Bozeman
Absolutely.
for winning
Winner
the
of the
prize and
Christmas Cup.
donating the prize to
And
us.
last but not least, big, huge shout out to our people, Sinners Inc., who have been giving us our title song since day one. Thank you. If you guys have not seen these guys live, check them out. Sinners Inc. on Facebook. They are constantly updating the venues that they are at. It is worth checking them out.
Yeah, if
They're
you're in the southeastern
awesome
Connecticut
freaking
area, you need to get out and see their show.
check them out.
It's awesome.
They are absolutely fantastic. Guys, thank you very much. Once again, I am Loki.
I am Jabroni.
And this is
Producer Eddie Focus.
And you guys have a fantastic fucking day.
We'll see you for You Know What's Fucked Up next week.
Oh, we got to follow that.
It's going to be good.
Harambe, Harambe.